Hey everybody, it's Missy. Thanks for joining me again for another layout for My Scraps and More. And I made this layout last month for our Penspirational crop, and this was the pen that I used to inspire this layout. All of the design team chose different types of pens, and one of the challenges that I issued was based on a clothing pen. And so I was inspired by that outfit, and I loved the pop of pink from the purse, the mustard yellow colored pants, and that blue jacket and the black and white stripes. And so as you can see here, I've got all of those elements represented. And these are some papers from my stash. Most of this is from the American Crafts Dear Lizzie Polka Dot Party, I believe. And the background sheet with the ombre mustard color with those arrows is from Pink Paisley. And I got it from a stack from Michaels not too long ago. It's a summer collection. I can't remember the exact name of it off the top of my head, but I'm going to use that as my background. And so I've got the stripe element going on in a couple of places in the layout, as well as all of those colors. And so this actually turned out to be what I would call a simple layout for me. I do a little bit of mixed media on it, but not a whole lot. There's a lot of layering going on, and it's a pretty flat layout. I do use that one cut file in the back that is white cardstock, and I got that from the Silhouette store, and it's just basic diagonal stripes. And it's going to go in the very back, and I'm just playing around with the different papers here. I want all of these to be layers behind my photos, and I just played around with them for a while to get them exactly how I wanted them to look, because I wanted all of the colors and patterns to show without being completely covered up. And this is an unusual color scheme for me, I guess. It's very interesting how something from Pinterest, or just something in everyday life, a magazine design or something you see in person, anything can inspire you to create a different kind of layout than what you're used to. And so this one's kind of out of my norm for me, I think, and I like the way it turned out. I would call it more of one of my simple layouts, I guess. I tend to overthink things, and I always make things way more complicated than they need to be. And that's why it takes me so long to create a scrapbook page half the time, because I overthink things and try to get everything just so. And I have a hard time with just sticking it down and moving on. I have to mess with it until I get it exactly like I want it, or else it will just bug me. And so this one is different for me, I think. But I like how it turned out. So I'm going to staple all of those together. I tore the pink sheet just to extend it a little bit more, so there was a little more showing on the right side. And these are just some random cute pictures of my daughter from a few years ago when she was in a sweet little mood, and so I got some cute images of her. So before I stick all that down, I'm going to get my tissue paper behind the photos and some yellow thread that I've already pulled off of the spool to get down there. Now, then I had an epiphany of something that I wanted to do on the background. I kind of wanted to create a diagonal design here, which is something I don't do a lot of. And again, like I said, this is kind of different design for me. I got white cardstock there in the back, and I'm going to play around with, do I want the white cardstock on the top, the bottom? How do I want it? So, I don't know that right away at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this Pink Paisley paper down. And I'm usually not a huge fan of this mustard yellow color. But, it was in the picture of the outfit, and it just sort of flowed with this. I like how it looks. I'm usually a fan of, bright sunshiny yellow, and this is a different color. So I'm going to add a little bit of mixed media here. So I'm starting with some white gesso and surprise, surprise, gelatos and the plastic packaging technique. I want to bring in some more of the pink, and so I'm just going to do a little bit of smudging here to get the pink going in the background. And I just want it to look, kind of messy and like watercolor. And I don't do a whole lot because I didn't want it to be the main focus of the layout. I just wanted some watercolor look coming from behind those layers in the pictures. So now I've decided I want to add in some of that navy blue denim color, and I didn't really have any gelatos that matched it perfectly. So I pulled out my iridescent cheap watercolor set from Michaels, and I'm going to use this really pretty blue here because I think it's the perfect color. And when it dries, it is so iridescent and so pearly and shiny and shimmery. It's really pretty. And I love this set. You can get it at Michaels. It's $4.99, I think. It's not expensive at all, and it's really pretty, I think. And so I've got all this watercolor going on here in the middle, and you know, I'm going to cover all that up with the pictures. So I keep pulling the layers out to put over it to see, you know, can you even see this? Because that's one thing I guess that does kind of bug me about mixed media is you do all this work and then you cover most of it up and you can't even see it. And so I like to take my layers and test them out a lot, you know, lay them over the page and see, you know, can I even see what I'm doing here, or do I need to do it further out? And that's what I was doing. And, you know, I obviously didn't want to just do this for nothing and cover it up. So you can still see some of the blue peeking out. And that's what I wanted here. And look at the sparkle of this blue. Look at that. It's so pretty. I know it's still kind of wet, but it dries just like that. It's very pretty. I love that, that pearlescent set of paints. All right, so I'm going to come back in with all the layers and get everything set like I like it. And I like how you can see the watercolor. It's not too much. It's just a hint of the blue peeking out and, you know, the pink. And I love this black and white striped paper with the teal or that light mint color. I wish I would have bought 5 or 6 of those. I love that sheet. I'm trying to hoard every little piece of it. And I had an idea here to kind of make a striped corner piece, but it did not line up with that mustard angle or the mustard paper angle. So I scrapped that idea and I'm going to use it as a layer. I did some stitching here and that's all black thread. I stitched around the diagonal die cut and then I stitched diagonally, you know, you can see that. I don't have to tell you that, I guess. Up and down diagonally on the cardstock. And then I'm just going to use that triangle piece that I cut as an extra layer behind everything there. So I'm going to add my yellow thread. And again, I love the thread because it gives some texture and it also adds another element of color. I think that's a really nice, fun, and easy and cheap way to add another embellishment to your page is thread. Really, it does add a lot. And, you know, it depends on how much you add. You can add a little bit, you can add a lot. But it just gives it some texture and it gives it some interest. And, you know, I like the fact that now I have something else that's yellow on the page. And I could have done pink or I could have done black or even some metallic. It would have been really, really cool. And I love adding thread just for that reason. So do you remember these thickers? I believe these came out with the Stitched collection. And of course I hoarded them. And so I'm trying to use them. I'm trying to make them work on more of my pages because I love them. I've just not used them because I loved them so much, which makes no sense. But I know you understand what I'm talking about. These are Ellie Studio stamps, and I'm just going to stamp the word now, basically because, you know, I wanted to use one of those thickers, and I couldn't really think of a title because these are just cute pictures on a random day. And so I decided to make my title Right Now, and I love combining different fonts for my titles, and I love using stamps. So I really, really love these Ellie Studio stamps. They're the perfect size, and you can even add color to them because they're, you know, kind of open. Some of them have dots and some of them have stripes. Now I'm just going to embellish, and I don't do a whole lot of embellishing. These are Evalicious little paper clips with the arrow there. And then these are some super old Heidi Swapp rub-ons that I got at Michael's. They came in a pack with some frames, I believe. And I really like them. And they still rub on really, really well, even though I've had them for, gosh, 2 years probably. I really like them. And then one says Beyond Fabulous, and I believe this one says Having a Great Time. I'm going to come in with some more of my things that I got from Michaels, and if you ever go to Michaels, you probably see these. These are the Tim Holtz little sticker books or sticker tablets, whatever you want to call them. They're white with black lettering, and then they have some that are black with white lettering. And they just have different phrases and different words that are perfect for almost any layout. They're all kind of inspirational quotes and, you know, quotes about love or quotes about friendship or a journey or destination, things like that. And you're guaranteed to find lots of things in there that go with almost any layout that you make. And they're pretty neutral, being white and black, so you can, pretty much use them on anything. So add a couple of those, and, I really did not have any of the polka dot party embellishments left over. I think I have a couple, but nothing that really went with this. So I was kind of picking through my stash of random things and seeing what I wanted. And I do think I add one or two more things once my page is done, but I add my journaling and my date stamp, and then I'm going to come in with my black color shine, and that's it. I do add another American Crafts sticker next to the word now, and then I'm going to add a flare button to the right of the pictures from A Flair for Buttons, and that's going to finish this layout. It's, like I said, it's very different than what I normally do. I don't know if it's the color scheme or the design or all the layers, but I like how it turned out. I think it's a pretty simple page for me, and I really like it. It's different. So let me know if you have any questions. I really enjoyed putting this together, and I hope the pin of that outfit inspired you to create, something different out of your normal color schemes, I guess you could say. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.